Hey, how's it going? Yeah, what's up? My name is DrEvilsin. I'm gonna be today showcasing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated along with I'm Jay. Say hi.
Yeah, I'm gonna be commentating.
Yeah.
Evil's big gamer moment. Gonna be doing
Yeah.
some Rehydrated 77 spat.
So some things before we start. If you notice at any time that the game is gonna freeze or that sound is gonna go out, don't worry. That's not from you. That's from us trying to do a trick called lag. We're gonna explain it later on. And also, as you can see in the top right corner, we're running on 60 frames per second. Because we have capped it, we can also go into that later. And our revision number, as you can see in the top right, means that we're playing on 1.2, which is a previous patch of the game because of one trick that we're going to have to do later on. But apart from that, I think it's about time that we can start, right? Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's it. I think we're ready.
All right. So in that case, timer's going to start automatically, but timer begins the moment that we press OK. So in 3, 2, 1. It might actually start a second later than that. Just because of the way that the splitter works. Anyway, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to immediately pause and warp out of the main area because of an oversight that basically led it that you can just warp straight out, not having to collect, what is it, 50 shinies? Right?
Yeah, there's a tutorial usually you have to do in the house, which makes you grab 50 shinies to get the first spatula, but we're gonna go back and get that later.
Yeah, so we're immediately going to go to Jellyfish Fields, and we're going to do our first instance of lag, because I'm deciding why not, let's try it. So, this, what you're seeing, is called a lag warp, and I actually just failed it. We'll explain it though. Quickly explain what I'm doing here?
Yeah, so a lag warp, basically, we can do what's called a sponge warp by slamming as we hit the goo. But if we combine this with lag, which we do by window dragging to freeze the game, it gives us a ton of extra speed and velocity and basically just teleports us to like the other side of the map, where we can land on top of a jellyfish rock and grab the first sock. And
Yes.
we're going to use this for like a bunch of different points in the run.
And you're going to see a lot of different versions of it. So actually, you know what? I wasn't even supposed to be doing this. I don't even know why I'm doing it right now. We're just going to do the backup. And just grab the other sock. Because this is probably the most reset heavy point in the game, which is why it's in the beginning. So instead we're just going to go to the end and do it without lag.
Yeah,
I was feeling
usually where like 90% of runs die when we're doing this category.
Yeah,
But,
I think I have...
backup.
Yeah, I think I have like only 1% of runs to get out of that area. So instead, you want to talk about which collectibles we have in the game?
Yeah, so there's like a bunch of different collectibles in the game. The main one, we need spatulas. We need 75 spatulas to enter the final boss area where we get the last 2, which gives us 77. We've also got socks, which are just scattered around the levels in different areas. And we can trade in 10 socks for 1 spatula with Patrick. And we've also got shiny objects where we can use to pay Mr. Krabs 3,000 for a spatula, as well as we can use it to open up different areas for shiny objects.
Yeah, so here we're just going to
gonna
talk to Gary to unlock a bungee, and what you're going to see here is I'm actually going to pause the game, and then load the save, unpause the game while in that state, so that I've teleported to the wrong area. Alright, that's strange. Okay, I see what happened. Okay, wait, give me a second.
Rehydrate.
It's not letting me
yeah,
save the game.
It's not when you save?
No. Okay.
Well.
This is interesting. Okay. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. We're just gonna grab the spat again. I am really confused about what's happening.
This game's not really known for being the most polished. There's a lot of oversights and things that can go wrong in this game. That's where the term rehydrate moments come from.
Wait. Okay. Hold up. I need to figure out what's going on here. Okay. I see.
Is it actually just not letting you save?
No, it's not letting me save.
Okay.
I loaded up the wrong save. Okay.
Alright, minor time loss, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. So, we did set the estimate to be like 10 minutes over, because this is Rehydrated. This is what we're calling it. So, yeah. I have no clue for why it's happening, however, it's fine. I swear. I guess all that this means is that we won't be able to save the game at any point in time. Error, game cannot be saved. Okay.
Yeah, that's always
so
perfect. Right
that
when we need it
takes
to save.
out. You know, this has never happened to me.
I've never seen this happen either. This is
Yeah, I don't know.
This is definitely a rehydrated moment.
No, but it's fine. We can salvage this. It's nothing to worry about.
Alright, yeah, we should be back on track now. So this is our first spatula we're gonna be grabbing. It's the bungee.
Yeah, so I just
And,
essentially yeah, okay. We're just gonna do it like this.
I guess we're not gonna be doing no load sasses, so you're
Yeah.
not really missing out on much.
So
Really quick, while we're having some classic marathon luck, we had
Yep.
a $14 donation from EBM who says 10 shells and 6 lightning. I guess that's in reference to Emo's previous run. Thank you so much, EBM. We really appreciate it. And if anyone else wants to donate as well, command charity in the chat, as we are raising money for Stack Up, obviously supporting veteran mental health through gaming. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah, let's hope the luck turns around in the first 5 minutes of this run.
yeah, so what you just saw there was really the best explanation of what a lag warp is. Essentially, there's a thing known as a sponge warp where you can just tell. If you slam right as you hit the goo, it, instead of just bouncing you back up like it would normally do, it instead kind of displaces you back and up. And by lagging the game, all that we're doing is just actually making it so that your frame rate drops to 0. And this game has physics based off of your frame rate. So as a result, it makes you go way higher than normal. What you just saw there was me actually doing a pause buffer to land on the very first frame that you collect the spatula, which skips the animation. And, yeah. If I'm missing anything, Jay, take over.
Yeah, okay. So now we're gonna be heading into Squidward's house, where we're gonna be annoying him, which is gonna go around and destroy everything, which is gonna give us an extra sock to add to our counter. And we're gonna also skip the animation to grab the spatula, just by hitting the last stand as we do our final jump, which basically just skips the animation.
Yeah, so here you have another instance of a lag being used. In that case, it's a lag bash, where I'm bashing and lagging during that animation, which causes me to go higher. And now we're gonna make our way to downtown. Oh, I can't show off, like, the sea needle strats. This sucks. Alright, it's fine. Jay, warn me if I'm about to save. At any point in time, please.
We're not gonna save because
I don't want to be an hour
they'll
in
miss
and
everything.
save. That's gonna be rough. Anyways, here we're just gonna be doing TPs movements. We have to hit underneath these TPs, but luckily we can just slam as we're falling, and it still counts.
Yes, we're making extra care to grab shiny objects here because we need 2,100 to enter the sea needle, where there's 2 spatulas in there that we need to grab, as well as a bunch of socks and some wheels as well that we need for Mrs. Puff in this area.
God, this run is a big rehydrated moment, I swear. Anyways, here I'm just gonna kill him. And no one saw anything. Okay, we failed that jump, it's fine. We can just lag bash up here. We're just gonna need to grab another sock later. Anyways, here what we're gonna do, we want to switch to Sandy, which is what you can do so that we can get the next spot. So we're just gonna get the warp off of Gary there, pause, and then warp to the area. So now we're up here, and what we're going to do is now do one of the most game-breaking glitches in the game, ILH. Which stands for Infinite Lasso Hover, or as some people call it, Flying Squirrel. In order to trigger that, all that you need to do is, as you're performing a ledge grab, just press the lasso button.
Yeah, it's like a really easy trick. It's one of the easiest tricks in the game, but it's probably the most game-breaking because you literally just fly anywhere you want infinitely.
Yeah,
as long as
and
there's
you could
no barriers
also
in the way.
Yeah, and you could also descend and ascend by pressing either the jump button or the lasso button. And in order to like do it again, all you need to do is just reground.
Yeah,
So
we can
here-
basically use this. We're gonna use this a lot when we're sandy to just basically traverse to the other side of levels to sequence break.
Let's get up here. So here, you need to normally press that button in order to spawn a button. Instead, the button's already there. So by doing this, we can get it instantly. And since we can't save here, we're gonna have to do this very slowly. Instead, all that we normally do, is just save there, and then it'll immediately, or load there, and it will immediately get us back to here. Wait, let me reground myself, because I actually don't know if that makes me reground. But yeah, so now we're just going to traverse all across rooftops without any issues, essentially. And we already discussed what all the collectibles are, right? And what we're going to be performing with wheels? Well, not yet.
Yeah, but in this area, we need to grab 11 wheels for Mrs. Puff. She needs wheels. So we're going to be grabbing them along the way. And we can also use these wheels for collectible counter abuse, which we're going to be using later in the run to do other collectibles without actually collecting them.
Yeah, so here what you're going to see is that I'm going to collect that spat without triggering an animation, because game is funny, and the animations overload themselves a lot, which you will be definitely seeing more of later, especially at the end of the game. So, as a result, the bus stop animation is still happening, and so the spatula never triggers.
Yeah, this area is one of the first, like, fight areas of the game. Like, there's a couple others after this one where we've just gotta destroy all the robots. This one's pretty easy. We just go around, kill them all in, like, pretty good cycle. We can kill them with the tikis in the middle, and then grab this wheel, and then head out.
Yeah.
And we can also skip this animation here by just triggering the door as we land into the spatula, and it pretty much skips the animation.
Yeah, I did the exact same type of skip earlier on in the game, when we were entering Dilemma after Jellyfish Fields. And yeah, so now we are entering Sea Needle. So usually there is a strat here we can do by loading the game, except for some reason I think my file is corrupted. It happens. So instead we're just going to do this like how we used to do it, which is not really that big of a difference, it's just a 5-second difference.
But yeah, we're intended to do this area as Spongebob. We're supposed to go around on all 3 of the bungees and destroy all of the tikis, and then Mr. Krabs will override us with our spatula. But what we're going to do instead is after we go around and collect all these collectibles, we're going to do it as Sandy, and instead of using the bungees, we're just going to jump down and start meleeing the tikis, and then we can switch back to Spongebob and Mr. Krabs will give us the golden spatula. But
Yeah, so
before we do
here, so that button should, they intend for you to hit it with Spongebob with an ability known as Cruise Bubble, which we're not going to be getting in this run until the very end. And it's literally even called Come Back with Cruise Bubble. However, there's a funny little thing, which is that you can just hit it with her. And yeah, so here what we're doing is, like Jay explained, just destroying the set of tikis 3 times to essentially trick the game into thinking that we destroyed all of the tikis. And we can get the next... I really hope that I can land and get the double Spongebob. We'll see. So I just need to make sure that all of them trigger the ground before I despawn, or that they all despawn before I hit the ground. And now we can switch to Spongebob, get the spatula, and hopefully get the glitch here. Yeah, let's go. Alright. Hope you guys like 2 Spongebobs. So now all that we're gonna do is we're just gonna warp back to Jellyfish Fields so that, because now there's a oversight that allows us to be Sandy in Jellyfish Fields, which isn't supposed to happen by just warping to certain places. It doesn't change who you're playing as. So now we're going to be performing an ILH, and not just performing an ILH, but as you saw also in Downtown, combining it with a slide to get a really fast ILH. And as a result...
So usually here we'd have to...
Yeah.
Yeah, usually here we'd have to go through the entire cave section as either Patrick or Spongebob, but with this ILH slide boost, we can go around the outside, avoiding the hand triggers, and just skip right to the end of the caves.
Yeah, and Hans, if you guys haven't seen it earlier, is basically this huge hand that acts as the out of bounds. So here, there's a wall. We can go over that. That was actually really smooth. I'm really happy with that. And we can get straight to the spatula. And from this point, all that we're going to do is come here, and we have 14 spatulas. We're about to have 15. And, yeah. So now we have the warp for that area, so now we can just leave it, go back, warping back to Bikini Bottom. And now we can get our first stock spatula, and then fight our first boss to get our ability. So I'm not actually going to talk to him yet, because we did miss a sock, because I'm bad. So we're just going to come in here, grab this extra sock, and then dip. Oops, my bad.
So what Evil is going to attempt to do here before entering the Psydome, he's going to attempt to do tech storage, which allows us to move during the spatula animation. So that's it.
Nope.
Almost.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would have
pressed
allowed
on.
us to just walk during the spatula animation. You can see her in a bunch of other places.
Yeah,
During
it's
this
what
fight, he's going to be doing a bunch of different manips for Robo-Sandy to make her skip some cycles. And you're going to see this by, he's going to walk after this phase, he's going to walk into Sandy triggering the chop animation, and it's going to cause her to skip one of her cycles so she can slam earlier.
Where am I? Yeah, and also we did perform that tech storage in Sea Needle in order to walk to the bus stop. But yeah, so in phases 2 and 3, we just need to do the swipe twice, and then she immediately goes into her stomp. In phase 2, she throws her head that Patrick needs to throw. And in phase 3, I just needs to do another slam followed by a bash. Ooh.
Really quick here, we have a $5 donation from Nicholas James King, who says that that was a rehydrated moment. And
sure
good luck,
is.
Evil.
Hey, thanks, Nick. Alright. Ah, okay. I have her in a bit of a position that I'm not used to. Oh my god. Alright. We're fine.
It's okay, it's going alright.
Yeah.
We didn't die, it's fine.
So now we have probably the most game-breaking ability. Well, it's not game-breaking. It used to be way more game-breaking, but then we introduced a lot of other things. So now we have the Bubble Bowl. So we're just going to be using the Bubble Bowl for a lot of different tricks. And yeah. So first we just need to take care of Tree Dome. And sweet. And now
Here's another fight section.
what you just saw there was by bowling and interacting with a door trigger at the exact same time, it actually overwrites the fact that the game doesn't want you to move when you're loading it to a level, and you can just move around freely, allowing you to collect spats during that animation. And I forgot to set up lag. Alright. So
This is probably one of the most broken levels in the game when it comes to lag. We're going to be abusing lag a lot here. We're pretty much going to sequence break the entire level and just skip right to the end of the pier instead of going forwards through the caves.
yeah, and we're also gonna do a little bit of a funny with it that I'm gonna attempt once or twice, but at the same time, since we did have you know, that rehydrated moment at the beginning. I don't know if I'll be able to spare enough time to do it. You know what? Nah, we're going for it, right?
Oh, it's worth one try.
It's
We'll
worth
give it
one
a try.
try. I'll at least back it up with the bus stop. Yeah. Oh, by the way, there will be an volume warning because all these sounds that you're hearing will lay on top of each other coming up soon. It's really funny, and yeah. It's not
Just
funny.
pretty sure he is.
Okay, so first thing that we're just gonna do here, lag all the way to the end of the level. Just like that. We're actually gonna trigger the cutscene here, which I didn't want to. Let's just do this. So doing that is actually gonna save the game at that point. I really hope so, at least. And now...
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes, I got it. Okay, good. In that case, we need to actually lag a frame later than you normally would.
Almost.
Do I do it a second try? Nah. We're done with it. Okay, feels bad. So, we were really close. So, essentially what I was trying to do there was, there's a trigger that's as wide as Spongebob that I was trying
It's
to hit.
a really tiny trigger.
It's a very tiny trigger. And
Probably one of the hardest tricks in the game.
and it saves 20 seconds combined with a trick that you can do in this section that is a frame perfect hit where you need to land on the ground as you get damaged, like on the exact same frame, causing you to keep the speed from the slide, which is what you're falling off of. And if you've ever played the original game, then you know that there is or watched it, there is some speed tech known as cruise boosting, and it's essentially the only area where we can simulate that.
So now what Evil's going to do here, he's going to jump off the slide a bit early, and he's going to go under the pier and grab the spatula. Usually, to grab the spatula, you'd have to switch to Patrick, grab the ice, and throw it into the water to turn the water into the ice, and then just run across and grab it before the timer runs out. But doing this, we can just skip that completely and grab it as SpongeBob.
Not gonna lie, this is very hard to do while trying to consciously think of the fact that my game is right now corrupt.
Yeah, try not
Yeah.
to load Seth. Please do not load Seth. Yeah, there's some movement there. Instead of paying for the clam to bring up the bounce pads, he just climbed up the side, doing some movement, jumped on the bounce pad without having to bring it down. And now we're gonna head backwards and clean up some of the spatulas we missed, because we did this entire level backwards. So now we're gonna go back and just collect all the spatulas.
Yeah, so here, we're just gonna switch to Patrick, and we switch to Patrick as we're within a trigger to talk to Krabs as Patrick, so that we can instantly talk to him, and then we can just skip, this, thing. Yeah. So now we're backwards, now we're gonna hopefully be able to get a frame-perfect pause. Did not expect that to happen, let's go. And now we can just walk out of here. And usually... So I have to change how I'm doing this, so I have to do this the old way. Also, yeah, audio warning. Okay, so there we just did a bit of platforming to get up here, and now, hopefully... I'm just gonna use my mouse for this. Really hope that hits. So that's a trick shot that usually there's a... Yeah, that's a moat section that you have to complete as Patrick. However, what we can do is just completely skip the whole entire thing by bowling it. And once again, first try. Audio warning, by the way.
So now we're gonna collect our reward for doing
my god.
Power puzzle. And he's actually getting all of these.
Yo, let's go. Okay.
Really clean.
Marathon luck after having marathon unluck. Okay, so now we're just gonna work back to downtown to perform a trick known as CCA, which I think you explained, right? Okay,
yeah, we pretty much explained it a bit.
Just in case yeah, okay. So, we're just gonna make the game think that we got all the collectibles in, by warping from an area where we already have more than the collectibles that we need for the thing. fix the game if we think that we have all the collectibles. Yeah. So now we collected that, so now we can actually warp back to downtown, to Jellyfish Fields, because we have the new ability. Yep. And we can do this part. So here, once again, you normally need to just turn into Patrick and stun a bunch of enemies and then throw them at these outhouses, but it just turns out that you can instead just bowl them. And it's way faster. And I didn't die there.
Here again.
Good.
You didn't die, Pog. Sometimes you just randomly die there. We don't know why.
I think it's because you hit the
lag
goo
warp?
prior, and I messed it up, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
It
We can get
happens.
the extra talk later.
Yeah.
Lag warp moment.
So here, you can just use the lag here. I mean, there's a way to do it without lag, but it's just like a sec. And we all know that we care about the time save here at GSI. Okay.
Yes, this is a small instance of grinding in the game. It takes about a minute and a half. We just
Yeah,
need a
minute.
bunch of shiny objects to open a couple kind of clams and buy. We're gonna buy one spatula later off Mr. Krabs. We need 3,000 for that. But
Yeah, so we're here grinding at like 64, like mid 6,000 range, essentially. And we get 650 shinies every single time we die. So... that was a good time. Yeah.
Games, so we're quite lucky.
Yeah, in 100%, it used to be, what was it, 10 minutes of grinding?
I think it's 10 minutes now. It used to be like.
It used to be
50 minutes, didn't it,
17.
or like 40.
Yeah, so, essentially, from the original game, they decided to up the prices that you need to get crab spats with, because they increase, I don't think exponentially, but by some number, right? It like starts off by 3,000 and then it goes up, and there's 8 of them. So it was a ton of shinies.
I
And
think in total it was like 120,000 for all of his spatulas, which is ridiculous.
yeah, and that's on top of all the other things that you need to get. And luckily, in their newest patch, they fixed that. However, they took out a glitch that we need for... Oh, why am I buffering it early? But they did, as a result, take out a trick that we need to use. So, for 100%, they still run it, because they will still get that power-up. However, that cruise bubble, we don't get until later on in the game. And yeah, here's another instance of us just skipping to the end. And yeah, Jay, remind me, once we're in Kelp, to get both of them.
Yes, we'll do.
Also, that
So
fish
now
just
what we're
dabbed.
gonna do is we're gonna go and fight King Jellyfish, but instead of fighting him, we're just gonna not fight him and then just skip the fight completely. But first of all, we're gonna warp to. Wait, do you warp the wheels now? Yeah, you
Yeah.
warp the wheels now, and we're gonna collect the wheel spatula, which also gives us the CCA for the jelly that we need for defeating King Jellyfish. But
Dude, I'm
because
nailing
since we
it.
don't fight him, we're gonna skip the entire fight, and then we can just get that later.
Yeah, so we're a pacifist, so we're just gonna trigger the cutscenes as so. Just gonna hit him so that he doesn't actually attack us while we do this. And here we're just gonna do a lag bounce, where we just skip over the curtain. So now, if you listen to the music, you can hear that it's actually overlapping the two types of music from the slide and from the King Jellyfish fight. And yeah, so now since we CC'd it, we can just hopefully... Unlucky. But
Almost.
hey, I've been landing a lot of the other ones. I'm happy so far. But yeah, now we can just skip to the end. And just collect that. And now we need to go to Shady Shows, because we're going to Murmelair.
This is where all the funny hard tricks live. It's gonna
Yeah.
be probably the most interesting level in the game.
So first thing that we're just going to do, we're going to grab that fountain sock, then jump off, get a lag bounce, not land up there, but that's okay. We're instead going to just do a lag bounce to make it a bit easier. We can't skip the spat like how I normally would, but it's all good. Instead, we're just going to jump down into there. And here, we're just going to grab another sock like so. And yeah. Want to talk about all the funnies in Murmelair?
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of hat tricks coming up in Murmelair. So first of all, we're just gonna walk, and we're gonna walk all the way to the end and do a funny jump. Basically, just skips like 10 seconds of movement. Grab the first spatula, and then we've got 2 hard tricks coming up after. We've got Clam Skip, and we've got Ballroom. Now,
Ballroom is gonna be
Ballroom
amazing.
is the funny one.
Yeah, it's so Ballroom, or as we coined it, Kobe Skip, is essentially kind of what it sounds like. We're doing a very precise, and like basically frame perfect. Oh god, I'm becoming one of those guys who says frame perfect all the time. But it's gonna be a very frame perfect trick. Oop. Oh my god, wait, what's going on? Okay, there we go. It's literally, you have like a very small frame window in order to actually hit a, what's it called? What are we hitting? In order to get it into a hole, yeah. Like a hole into a ball, that's essentially it. And here, we're just going to be skipping the puzzles that we have to do here by completely cheesing them. There, we can just run along the outside. Here, we can just throw it instead of walking over those. And
Make sure
hopefully
he's gonna be death warping as well, because it's faster than just running back, so he's gonna die every time.
yeah, and the
Spawns
watermelon
back
respawns
in,
faster.
mid-man.
So now here, if I can land it, I've been having issues with them, it's fine. So
We'll get
here-
one tech story, just fine.
we got it in Needle, that's all I care about. We gotta see 2 Spongebobs. Yeah, so here what we're gonna do,
Yeah. So we need to bring up that bridge, so we gotta go back and switch to Spongebob.
we're not gonna talk about the fact that I missed.
It's okay,
God.
well no one's gonna notice.
Yeah, no one say anything, and it's fine. So
So now we've brought that bridge, we can now do what's called Clam Skip.
yeah,
so
so
we're
first
gonna
thing,
death warp up to the second layer checkpoint, and then we're gonna do, what do you even call it? We're gonna
we're
bounce off the missile the Chuck throws, get
yeah,
onto the slide.
ooh, first try. So
Nice.
essentially all that we're doing there is, and also this, so when okay, so we're essentially manipulating the Chuck to throw the missile into a very certain spot, and he moves around, so we need to start moving at a very certain time so that he lands in a place at a very certain... Am I making sense right now? No,
Yeah,
right?
that's fine.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We're essentially doing a lot of manipulation to get a missile to land in a certain spot so that we can essentially get hit off of it to land in a certain place. Yeah, that's about it. So here,
So what
since we
jumping on the
didn't...
missile does, it allows us to get another jump and just get up to the next platform. It's a
Yeah.
really hard trick, but it's pretty cool once you get it. It's nice with a fish tray.
And when you're on the slide, the reason for why I slid back and then I was able to run up is because Rehydrated. I don't think there really is an explanation, right? Other than just game, being game.
Yeah, it's rehydrated moment.
Yeah, so here what we're gonna do is we're just gonna completely skip, I'm on 1 health.
That's scary.
Okay. We remember what happened last time I was here on 1 health. So here, oh, by the way, so this trick, we haven't explained it yet. These are called VBBs, and these ones in particular are stuck VBBs. So what a VBB stands for is vertical bull boost, and what we're doing there is just having it get stuck in the terrain so that we can then jump on it, and it gives us upward velocity so that we can skip the section and just jump off of it. We're going to be seeing that a few more times in the run. Now here is Ballroom. Everyone's favorite level, to the point where when it was initially discovered, it would seem to be so inconsistent that none of the top runners would put it into their run.
Alright, about to get a first try.
Maybe? After failing it, like, in practice? Yo, let's go. Alright,
Alright,
Kobe, let's go. First try.
Friends blessed.
Game's feeling sad for me. So that's essentially, like, almost a frame-perfect trick. I forgot to talk to him before. Okay. Let's go. So we've now banged out 2 of the hardest tricks, leaving only 1, which is coming up next, which is in Dream. Which
Another
is...
really clean ballroom.
A quick donation just before that.
Yep.
Sweet. So Razor and Koopa donated $70 and says a little late, but donating $5 for each blue shell hit and $10 for each blue shell dodge on Emo's excellent Mario Kart Double Dash run. I got 10 hits and 2 dodges for $70. Thank you so much, Razor. And again, if anyone else wants to donate, command charity in chat. It's all going for a great cause. Thanks so much.
Yeah. So what you guys just saw there was a spat walk, or text storage, where we essentially talked as we got into a text animation as we landed on the spatula, then we exited the text animation so we were able to walk around in the spatula animation, and we collected a second spatula while doing so. And now we're just fighting the prawn. And the prawn is actually it's a very simple fight. All that we need to do is just jump over him 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times, and then bowl him.
Pretty easy fight. Good place to grab extra shinies if we need extra, but put a good amount.
Alright, so now
Now
we're moving on to Hub 3. Now, we haven't unlocked Hub 3 yet because we haven't fought Robo-Patrick. We won't be fighting Robo-Patrick. So, how do we get into Hub 3? Like so. I lied, not like so. Like so. We can be just doing another lag work to now land right on top of the chum bucket. Feels good, man. And now, since we are on top of the chum bucket, we can just collect these golden underwear and just drop down, talk to Bubble Buddy, and now enter Dream. So usually I do the new strat here, however, I can't load. So instead,
oh, yeah, true, yeah. No load sass.
No load sassing this one. So here, usually you have to jump on top of a ball to get that. Also, we just sequence broke it. You're not supposed to be on this part. However, you can just platform here. And now we're just going to be performing a trick known as Super Bounce. Well, yeah. Where essentially you have to pay for a clam. However, we've timed it just right that we can just jump off of this platform and land on that trampoline at that right time. Just so that we can completely get to Squidward's house without paying like 2,000 shinies.
Now we're going to be heading to Squidward's stream, where this is some decently difficult platforming going on here. So we're going to be platforming across all the notes. And then we're going to be doing what's called Trumpet Jump, which allows us to skip a lot of the note platforming and just go straight up to the next upper layer. So we're going to jump on the left side of the trumpet.
I jumped too early.
Yeah. We'll try that again.
Yeah, that was intentional, by the way. It's the,
yeah, we're going to jump on the left side of the trumpet, and it's going to bounce us up to the next area. Maybe next time.
You know how we say, like,
Okay.
there's a first time for everything?
Yeah.
I haven't failed on it in a long time.
So we're going to jump
Okay,
on
there
the
we
left
go.
side of the trumpet.
Okay, there we go.
And it's going to bounce us up to the next area.
Like we said, first
Now
try.
we're going to do a quick jump to grab the sock. And now we're going to do what's called a note warp.
Yeah,
We're
so
going to death warp here to reset the cycle. And then
Yeah,
we can explain this one.
so all the cycles in this game are essentially, whenever you die, all the cycles reset. They're always the same. And the reason I teleported there is because actually the notes teleport from when they hit one end to the other end of kind of where they begin to where they end. So the note is zooming really fast between those two areas, and it teleports us with it, leading us to actually just land on top of a note that's in the middle of the two areas. It's hard to explain. I don't know. Anyways, hardest trick in the game is coming up.
Alright, it's a little skip time. So like we did earlier for Clam Skip, we're going to basically do the same thing, but with the oil bot. He's going to shoot an oil in a precise... We're going to try and manipulate him to shoot in a precise area, land on his oil to get an extra jump, and basically sequence break the entire level and get to the end.
Yeah, so unlike the Chuck bot that actually shoots where you are, this oil bot actually predicts where you're going to be. So we need to get it to predict where we're going to be precisely so that we can do a double jump, land on top of it to get a third jump, but also getting the oil momentum so that we have enough speed to actually get to the end. And it's very precise manipulation because not only do I have to manipulate where he's shooting, but I have to manipulate where he's standing by walking in a very precise timing. And I'm right now messing up, I think, my place on here, so I'm actually going to concentrate.
Yeah, it's a really hard trick. It's probably the hardest one in the game. So it saves a lot of time though. There we go. Oh no.
Yeah,
This is
God,
fine.
the nerves. It's the nerves, you know?
A little skip moment.
There we go. Okay, first try.
Beautiful.
Hey, look, we got ballroom
And we
first
pretty much
try. We got...
sequence broke the entire dream.
Yep. So this is actually the last place that you should be able to get to. It's not. Now, this is the hardest level in the game. We're done with the hardest level in the game. Okay. So the reason for why that area looks like that is because in the original game, they didn't have enough time to finish it. So it looks like so, if I recall correctly. And they just decided to keep it for this game. And now here, all that we're going to be doing in Sandy's Dream is just doing an ILH combined with a lot of pain. So we're just going to go off the slide, get off at this precise point so that we can land up here, trigger a Hans trigger, collect the spatula, and also trigger the checkpoint on this nut, which is actually the last area that you should technically be in this level, but we completely sequence broke it. So we're fine. Now all that we're going to be doing is now landing on top of this slide, and we're going to actually bounce off of the foot of this cow, and hopefully we can get off right at the right time so that we don't start going backwards, which is what happens. We're now going to land on this slide, get off at about this point, and now we're just going to hit off of that rock. We hit off of it at too much of an angle, so now we're going down too fast, but that's okay because we can just jump and hopefully just get up just like that. And now what we're going to have to do in this area, which is called Swingers Ahoy, but we're doing it completely swingerless. So all that that means is, well, so we have to be very lucky with how we move, because if we hit something that we're not supposed to, we can essentially soft lock. Almost like so. Start moving sideways.
Almost got the
Yeah.
cutscene skip. Yeah, usually to get over to that area, you have to pay a clam that I think is 2,800 and use some swingers to get across. But we can use the ILH combined with slide boost and pretty much bypass everything and just skip straight to the end.
So now we are
Current
essentially
theme in this game.
yeah. So now we're essentially done with almost all of the hard areas except the one, which is oh come on. I didn't mean to do that. So we got our one crab spat, and now we're going to be moving on to rock bottom, where there is a trick that will insta-kill you no matter how much health you have. Fun. Also, since we're just going to be...
stuff going on in rock bottom.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of, what type of VBBs are they again? Not stuck. What are they called? Rolling, right? You started calling them?
Yeah, rolling VBBs.
Yeah. We're gonna have a few rolling VBBs, which, if you don't, essentially the difference between the stuck ones and the rolling ones is that we don't get them stuck, and they give us a lot more height. So here, we're gonna just try to do some basic platforming. Oh, there we go. By bowling into a slope, and then walking into it, you can, get essentially a lot more height off of it. So what we just did there is we used the sponge ball in order to get a lot more distance than we normally would, and I got out of the sponge ball and then got back into it because I'm trying to preserve my jumps, which I can only do if I'm not what's it called? If I haven't jumped before landing in it, which I did do. So here we're just gonna completely sequence break, get to the very end of the level, and now I'm just gonna actually activate lag because I don't like this lag warp or this VBB. Actually,
Yeah, we can sequence brace again here by either doing a VBB or a few lag bashes to just get up to the platform that's above and behind us, and it takes us to the edge of trench. Oh, first try VBB. That's really good.
Yeah. So here we're gonna actually get the hardest spat in the game. We've again collected the hardest spat in the game. So what I actually did there was I was pause buffering by just holding the pause during the loading screen, which essentially allows me to just collect the spat because Rehydrated, and it's literally right next to the area. So now here what we're gonna do is another lag bash track to get up here, which usually you have to get the spatula as Sandy, and why am I failing it? Yeah, so usually you'd have to get that spatula as Sandy by switching to her and then swinging onto the... However, that's too slow. So, if it would work, I'd just be able to lag bash up there. I'm, like, doing really poorly right now. My bad. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, it's fine.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're gonna warp again back to, what's the name of this? Swingers? No,
Swing along spatula.
Yeah, swing along. So we're gonna warp back here, and now we're actually gonna be collecting the Mr. Crab Spat by just coming down here, collecting this sock. Oh. Collecting this sock. Now we can just walk. So if you guys notice, there's also boxes. We haven't really talked about them too much, but essentially what boxes allow you to do is move between two places really fast, and it's set places. So all that we're doing here is we're using the bubble bowl to trigger a race that spawns a spatula, and now we're actually just going to collect the spatula. And now we're once again going to warp back to swing along. We
now
warp
it's time
here
for
4
Sponge
times.
Museum. Get ready.
So we found out that without even needing to do any sort of lag, there's an area where you can clip. And there we go. Okay. There's an area in the lasers where you can just clip through them by damaging yourself off of the lasers. And it's very precise, because if you're even walking at it from the wrong angle, it instantly kills you, no matter how much health you have. Like, for instance, right now I'm at 5. There's a chance I'll just lose all of them in an instant. So all that we're going to do here is line up, position ourselves to look right at this laser, and then walk straight through it first try.
First try, let's go. Yeah, these lasers are really weird. Sometimes they can bounce you in the wrong direction, like out of bounds and just instantly kill you. Sometimes they bounce you back. Sometimes you clip through. It's a really weird lineup.
Yeah, so
and
here
again,
we're just
with
gonna...
the lasers over here, we can clip through the right side of these lasers just by walking through them. They just didn't add collision for these lasers.
Here we're not doing anything, but I'm pretty sure there's collision on the other side of them, and you will die if you do touch them from the other side, so don't do that. So here we're just going to be collecting these, and now we're going to be performing our next CCA.
Yes, for this area in Rock Bottom, Mrs. Puff wants us to collect the art to bring back to the museum, but we're not actually going to do that. We're just going to use CCA and walk downtown and back, and now the game thinks that we've collected the art, but we actually haven't, and we're just going to get the spatula for free.
Indeed. So now, what's next? Sand Mountain. Sand Mountain is an auto-scroller. The whole entire thing is one gigantic auto-scroller. So as a result, we skip. We don't do 2 out of the 3 auto-scrollers. I mean, yeah, okay. That's essentially what
There's
we
some
can say.
small optimizations in this level, but it's mostly just going down the slides. But only one of them are fast, so we're only going to do one in this round.
So here we don't want to jump early, because the spatula, the bungee doesn't spawn until like the very last second, and you will essentially lose time. Now here, all that we're doing is we got it immediately warped, and now here, all that we need to do is just jump, and hopefully be able to just lag warp straight up, or lag bash straight up, collecting the spatula. And now, all that we need to do is just come down here, and here we're going to be actually duplicating a sock, and it's a very easy dupe as well, because all that you have to do is bowl the Sandman. Bowl the Sandman, there we go.
Why is he in the way?
And because we just stood in that spot, during the cutscene a sock comes down, and then it despawns and spawns a different sock, so we're just collecting that first sock. Now here we're actually going to be doing the Miss Puff time trial, and alongside... so here we're just getting 2 socks, or not 2, 3 socks, 2 spatulas, and I need to be really wary about my health, but I failed, how many times did I fail the lag warp in, JF? Twice?
3, I think.
I should have enough time, I should have enough money to not have to worry about tikis, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got enough.
Okay. If I don't, everyone blame Jay. Okay, I'm being super risky here. Because if you do end up dying, you lose 2 minutes because you have to redo this whole entire section.
Yeah, and dying on pretty much an auto-scroller, it's not fun. So
Yeah.
we're gonna try not to die here.
Yeah, we have way more than enough money. Alright,
Right, we would definitely find shiny objects.
yeah. Oh, so
Yeah, there's
speaking
two
of
buttons you can
grinding...
hit
Oh, yeah.
behind these duplicatrons. You can hit
Oh.
them through the duplicatron pretty much, and just trigger the cutscene like that.
There actually is, in total... Well, so from the shiny grinding method that we do, we collect 680 shinies per around 11 seconds in-game time. However,
Oh,
what
no.
you can do instead is a frame-perfect controller disconnect while switching characters in downtown to get 1800 shinies per, like, 10 seconds. However, that is frame-perfect, and we don't do that here. Anyway, now we're moving on to Jellyfish Fields. Or, not Jellyfish Fields, sorry, Kelp Forest. Where we're again sequence breaking the level, this time not through lag, but just through basic platforming, we can just get to the end of the level. And here what
So
we're
now
gonna
we're gonna
do...
go through and do all
Yeah.
of Kelp Forest backwards, and it's really fast. We can basically do most of this level in about 3 or 4 minutes, like
So
really fast.
Yeah, so here I'm doing a death warp because... Oh, I can't... Oh, this is gonna suck. I can't
Do not
LSS
load
that
fast.
fast. Yeah, okay. Don't
It's
LSS
fine,
like
just take the block.
50 minutes in. Yeah, so...
Not corrupt the save again.
So here... so when you load into this place, it's checkpointed you to actually be downstairs here, because that's where the exit you came from, but it warps you to talk to Mermaid Man up top. As a result, all that we have to do is just death warp getting us down here. We had to switch characters so that we could... Why is my camera so weird? We switched characters there so that we could just enable it so that we can just talk to him without any issue and still collect the still trigger the time trial, and then we just walk through the box to trigger the time trial. Actually, should I just collect this sock?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll just
Really
collect this
fast one.
sock. Yeah. Wow, sequence breaking. Yeah, so we're not actually gonna go through here because this is a slow spot. So instead we're actually gonna be at the end of the level of this place where we can now collect a really free spat. And from here, we're again gonna abuse the boxes in order to collect spatulas ahead of like how they intended us to do so. So I just opened up a box by hitting the edge of its trigger, and now we're gonna just walk over, bounce onto these leaves, and I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a spatula you collect as Patrick, if I'm correct?
Yes, it's supposed to do this, Patrick.
Yeah, so instead we're gonna do it as Spongebob by just getting into there. And now we're just gonna platform down here, collect the spatula, and now warp to Tiki Roundup, which is the spatula that we just got. I feel like I'm being too confusing with my wording, because I'm not able to think about what I'm saying. Anyways.
So we're gonna continue going backwards, and we're just gonna grab another free spatula, because all of the gates pretty much just lead to another spatula, like backwards.
Yeah,
Really
and now,
fast.
now we're gonna once again do a CCA, and we're gonna collect one more sock, and this should be the last sock that we should be collecting for this run. And now all that we're gonna have left is just 2 areas, which is gonna be Flying Dutchman's Graveyard, which is actually, yeah, taking back everything that I said earlier. Flying Dutchman's Graveyard is most likely the hardest area of the game now.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff to do in Dutchman's.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
There's a recently discovered clip through the lag. Why am I lagging? They're not lagging. Just sneaking. So there is a glitch, or not a glitch. I can't think right now. Okay, how do we explain it?
What are
There's
you trying to explain?
lag clipping.
Oh, so
Goo
basically, you can, if you induce lag, like as you're about to bounce off the goo, like just before, like 1 or 2 frames, what the game tries to do is it tries to bounce you back, but we're obviously lagging the game, so it's a bit confused, and we just end up clipping through the goo. And what we can do during that is we can grab a sponge ball and travel underneath the goo all the way to the cage, and just grab the spatula without having to. We don't have to trigger the goo tank, or we don't have to buy the clam. It's a really fast spat, but the clip is really hard. I think it's a 1 frame.
Yeah, it's a 1 frame. So usually, this is the only area where I personally pause
This time
buffer.
it, you drown. So.
Yeah, if you miss time it, you drown. So
Yeah, this is a rough one.
So there is a frame that we can see it happening on, however. Okay, you know what? Let's try this without lag, or without pause buffering. Let's see how this goes. Death. Oh, no! Oh!
Oh, really?
I guess we don't need
nice.
pause buffers here. Okay, okay.
Alright, so this is goo cage clip. So we're not supposed to be under here right now. Obviously, the game just usually kills you if you're in the goo.
Yes.
For some reason, we've clipped through. And
Oh, first
now we
try,
can
let's
clip
go.
through with the sponge ball.
Yeah,
Really
we
nice.
just clipped through some terrain by just moving fast. And they don't anticipate you to be down here. So here, So I gotta pretend that I'm just playing on my practice file right now, which means no loading. Okay. So we collected that spatula. So now we're actually gonna move back to this area so that we can do a lag warp, which I consider to be one of the hardest ones, because if you mistime it even a tiny bit, it kills you. Because it will make you go into the goo. So, yeah. No.
Wait. Ah,
Nah.
bad.
We... Okay. It's fine.
Yeah,
At least
so
this one's
there's a
fast
lot
to
of-
reset.
There's a lot of lag whoops in Dutchman's, and being right at the end of the run is probably the main choke point.
Wait. I'm dumb. Okay. I can't even do this method because I can't load warp. I'm just gonna do anchor skip.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just do that. So the file's corrupted, isn't it?
Yeah, because the file's corrupted.
Oh, the file. It's actually ruining everything.
Yeah, so, by the way, this trick that I just did is essentially, like, very precise timing. If I even hesitated there for a second, I would not have made it. But yeah,
Yeah, the
so
whole,
this run is
cycle.
going not as planned, but what can you do when this game is literally fighting against you and not allowing you to save?
Actual rehydrated moment.
Okay, right, so here's what we're gonna do. So, usually, we used to have a trick shot here where we can just bowl the thing that gets the goo down, but now instead all that we can do is just lag it. And now,
So the
oh
lag
god,
is
I'm
a
gonna
lot
attempt
easier.
this once, but I haven't done this in a long time. Yeah, why did I do that? Oh.
Almost.
Anyways.
You got the warp. But...
Yeah, I got the warp. So what we're about to see, by the way, is probably the most confusing part of the game of why is this even still in? And that is, why is there still an invisible slide that still has collisions? So usually you press a button on that ship that makes a slide come down on this side of the ship. However, as you can see by that, there is an invisible slide.
Oh no.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. There's just an invisible slide right there. Hey. Okay.
See, things that are invisible in this game, for some reason, they still have collision and work like they usually would. So we can just abuse that and slide off it instead of pressing the button.
Indeed. So
Another lag
now,
whoop coming up.
yeah. This is probably...
So this one.
I can still do the lag warp, right? Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Because you can just warp. Yeah. Did I land it? Sweet. Okay, so we actually
That
landed
was, like
again.
that was like a perfect one.
Yeah, that was my best one, probably. So here we're just gonna platform along that pole, come over to here, unlock this bungee, jump onto the bungee. We can't load warp, unfortunately, so instead we're just gonna actually load here. There we go. This is so hard to think about considering I don't do these shots. Alright. And now we can just actually just enter this box. Once again, now we're at the end of the level, skipping a whole bunch of platforming, performing free movement, getting that spatula. Now, we're going to be on to cannons. One of the areas of the game where, so, we actually never talked about why the game is capped at 60, other than the fact that it's just because we have, physics-based, or frame rate-based physics. So, this area, so we used to play it actually, on uncapped, until it became too big of an issue. And this area, you literally could have just done a bowl in a very certain spot, and it would have sent you all the way to the top to hit this spatula. And we were just CCing the rest. After the day that cap got instituted, we had to figure out ways around that, and this is a route that we came up with. Anyways, there I skipped an animation. Where am I going? And we are now in the final stretch.
We're almost
the
there.
What's the timer on the clock, by the way?
58:10.
We were so close to being
We're
underestimated.
almost there.
We were so
So yeah, we're
close.
training these socks now, and then we'll have 74, which is almost enough to be able to enter the final area. Wait, we have 75. We have an extra one?
We have an extra spatula. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, we have an extra one for some reason. So yeah, so now we're just gonna go straight in.
Oh, I wasn't
What?
supposed to do CTT.
Oh.
Ah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, we might still be underestimated.
Alright, so we've got some interesting strats coming up in this boss fight. So first of all, he's gonna go for a slam on the left hand.
I failed the slam. Let's go.
It's
So-
fine.
The strats that I'm attempting here, some of them are not RTA advisable. I mean, all of these are RTA, but the rest aren't. So what I just did there is I overloaded his animations so that he had two animations. Plankton started shooting me on the exact same frame that I hit him. So as a result, it overloads his stuff, and he just stands there. And Patrick always stands here as well. So it's essentially just a bunch of overloads.
So during this fight, it's possible to hit 2 of the bulbs at once if you hit the cruise missile in a certain spot. So we got both of them there. There's 2 different instances where you can do it. And now we're gonna completely sequence break like the entire phase 2. So the game like
Indeed.
intends you to go around on a bunch of platforms. But what we can do is we can just hit this fuse, lag through the death barrier, come straight down to this one, and now we're gonna tramp. Oh yeah.
I don't think that landed.
Did that one work?
Nope.
No. Let's go.
So, what we're doing here, by the way, why am I using a controller for this part? So, the day that the game came out, there was something discovered called taxi glitch, which is that if you input 2 inputs on the exact same frame, you actually can just, what's it called? By inputting
You
2...
just skip straight to the jump
Yeah, you can
bucket.
skip to any, area in the game without actually having the spatulas for it. And it completely broke the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of broken things you
Anyways,
can
so
go
here
taxi
I
with.
didn't. So you saw me like get it in a trampoline that I wasn't supposed to, which is called cruise bouncing, which is essentially oh no, my mouse isn't working. Okay,
There we go, one more fuse.
okay, so this is called cruise
Oh, there
bouncing,
we
which
go,
is
we
me
got that.
pressing the cruise bubble, which I actually haven't gotten at any point in this run, and I need to finish this before we finish. And what that essentially means, and time. Oh,
Time.
no soft locking. Did the timer finish? Nope, it did not.
That's fine.
Come on, stop the timer. There we go. So, it was a rehydrated moment. Hope you guys...
That's Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
Yeah, so before... so just some quick things. So, just quickly explaining why that happens. There's a debug trigger in the final area, which gives you both of the powers that got patched out. And also, before... is there anyone you want to quickly shout out? Just while I do this?
Yeah, so that was Rehydrated. I guess shoutouts to all the people from the Rehydrate community. I know a lot of them are here right now. Especially all the Rehydrated runners. Chino, the world record holder, very good runner. It's like the game is really like it's kind of a rough game, but it's a fun one. I definitely recommend trying it out. And other than that, I think that's it. Anything you want to say, Evil?
Yeah. Shoutouts to the Bob community. If you guys are interested in actually learning the speedrun, if this mess, if this run
This was
made
an
you guys,
interesting run, but
yeah,
it's fine.
if you guys think that the lag is too game breaking or whatever, we actually do have no lag runs that you guys can also check out. We have tutorials for everything. We have a very helpful community, and if you guys also see this game and want to try out the original game as well, we have one joint Discord where we can help out both communities. So be sure to join that. I don't really have too much else other than just shouting out people in the community. Jay, you already kind of like shouted them all out. I guess. Yeah.
Also,
if
follow
you,
Evil. Evil does Rehydrate runs every now and again. Evil's the gamer. Follow Evil.
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that. and we are overestimated. So I don't want to hold this up too much, but hope you guys enjoy that. It was really fun to showcase this game, and yeah, see you
Yeah,
guys.
nice one, GSA, for having us. This was
Yeah.
this was fun.